Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without a Hank, where the ASC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys are swimming in an ocean of cash and it's raining in England. As you can see today, we're taking on Huddersfield. Huddersfield playing in the Premier League in real life, but down here in the second tier of English football in 2020 in FIFA. Which, to be fair, they'll probably be playing in the second tier of English football in actual 2020 as well. You can see right here, they're in second, we're in sixth. This is a big game for us. We're trying to get up into those automatic promotion spots, finishing one or two. That's what Mr. Managerinho has been about all season. But it sure is going to help now that we have a gajillion dollars. I don't know if you saw our last episode, but we're rich. I learned a trick where you can hit the right stick and spend fake money. Or it could be real money. I have no way of knowing. By the way, you'll notice that Huddersfield have tie-dyed kits, which is the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. So congratulations to Huddersfield on the ugliest kits in FIFA. It's really saying something. Today I'm going to solve a problem. I'm in the business of solving your problems. Today's problem comes from Suburban Sun. I'm not sure if that's their real name, but it could just be their username. It's an interesting problem. And one that fascinates me. And I actually think I have a solution for it. So, I'm going to read you the problem. But first I have to stop Huddersfield from scoring. Oh, and also, we don't have to sell Raffo, which is good news. I mean, I don't like to criticize. You guys know I don't like to criticize my players. It's not who I am. But if I had a criticism of Raffo and Hodor, it would be that neither of them is able to catch the ball. They both seem good at stopping shots, but neither of them can, stop the ball from rolling away from them for an obvious opportunity. And that's what I'd really like to see. There's a good catch. All right, so Suburban Sun says, I want to apply to West Point and join the Army, but my parents said they would not support me at all and I would be on my own to do it. Well, here's the deal. If you apply to West Point, Meredith, isn't West Point free if you get in? Will you Google that for me? Because I would think the Army would pay for your education if you go to West Point. It seems like they should. We spend $69 million on the Army per hour, so surely they can afford the occasional free West Point. Oh, it's got to be, and it is. It's a goal. It's a phenomenal goal. It's from other John Green, who scores a goal in his first game since signing that big 3-year contract. Big money, no whammies. John Green with the goal from Ball John Green to, I think that was a Huddersfield player, to Vinny Thrill, to John Green, finishes. Is West Point free? Yeah, it seems like it should be free. If it's not free, I feel like I've got to have a conversation with our newly elected Congress. So your parents are saying, you have to do this all on your own, but, this is actually something that you can do all on your own, right? You can go, you can apply to West Point by yourself. And in fact, I think that's a good thing to, I think that's a good habit to get into, doing things by yourself, doing things with sort of minimal support. I think it's a good habit to get into. So my solution to your problem is that I'm going to strongly encourage you to apply to West Point. Now, for those of you who don't know, West Point is the United States Military Academy. There's one for each branch of the armed services, I think. I know there's one for the Navy and the Air Force. But I don't know if there's a Marine college. But obviously it's not my area of expertise. But West Point is a very prestigious school, very difficult to get into. A lot of people apply. Not that many people get in. You need a letter from your congressperson or a congressperson that recommends you in order to get in. But then you also need, just to get in. And it's not easy to get in. A lot of people want to go. So I think you should apply. Does that mean I think you should go? Not necessarily, because I think you need to continue to have this conversation with your parents. I think you're imagining it, and maybe even that was a terrible shot, Vinny Thrill. Maybe even your parents are imagining it as a dichotomy. But in fact, applying is part of a process, and I think it is a good thing for you. I don't think much is going to be hurt by you applying to West Point, right? Applying doesn't mean you have to go. It also doesn't mean you're going to get in. It's funny that this should come up now because my son is 8 So obviously it's a little premature to be making, career plans of any kind. But one of the things that he's interested in is serving in the military. He has members of his family, of our family, who serve in the military, and it's something that we've had a lot of conversations about. And like obviously, I mean, it's complicated for me. That even that thought at the age of 8 is complicated for me, and I think you've got to understand why it might be complicated for your parents. You've got to understand why it might be difficult for them. Some of that may have to do with politics. Some of it may have to do just with the fact that they don't want you to be in harm's way, because that's parents. Parents are, they want to take pain and worry away from their kids. They want, every parent wants their kid to have a great life. And, like I said, I have family members in the military who have had really wonderful experiences. I also have had friends and family in the military who had bad experiences. Now, I think in the U.S. we tend to imagine serving in the armed forces somewhat monolithically. That there is like one job that people in the armed forces do, and there's a lot of strong opinions about that job. I don't think that is the truth. There are there are multiple branches of the military, but there's also lots of ways of serving in the military within each branch of service. So I think that should also be part of the conversation you have with your parents. That what kind of service do you see for yourself? What kind of career path do you want that to lead to? Oh no, I've been injured. Do you have a plan for that path after your period of service ends? Whether you want the military to be your career. Even if you want it to be your career, for most people, it's a 15 to 20 year career, not a full career for all of adulthood. Obviously that isn't the case for everybody, but yeah. So I think like having asking your parents to be open to those conversations and talking to them about it, approaching it from, oh boy, he's injured, he's badly injured, we need to get him out of the game. Approaching it from the perspective of I want to have these conversations with you, and I want you to be part of these conversations. But ultimately, this is going to be, ultimately, that stuff is your choice. That's the way that the system works in the United States. You turn 18 and you are an adult, and you make your choices. And I think that's the way that it's going to. Oh my God! I've scored another goal. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh boy. And it's a little heart-shaped excitement. Who was that? I don't believe I know him. Who are you? I know. You should feel bad with that haircut. It wasn't Frankenstein, was it? Who was that barging out of central midfield with so much enthusiasm and passion? Was it the substitute I just brought into the game? Could it be that I'm that much of a genius? Oh, they've made a substitution. Meredith, I made a substitution. I brought off Vinny Thrill, who wasn't having a great game, and then Dean Parrott scored a phenomenal goal because I am a managing genius. What's the problem? Oh, I get a free kick. I'm going to make my other 2 substitutions. I'm going to preserve my beloved John Greens because they've been through a lot, and I'm going to bring on Will Grigg. Will Grigg, who's played 400 different times for me and has not scored a goal, is gonna get another chance. Now that we've got a lot of money, I gotta tell you, having Will Griggs on the books looks worse and worse. I can't help but think that we could get a better. There might be a better attacking player out there who offers us a little more than Griggsy's offering us right now. But yeah, look, ultimately this is gonna be your decision, but your parents love you. They have put a tremendous amount of time and love into your growth as a person, And I think because of that, I think it's important to listen to them. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to, in the end, do what they want you to do. But I do think it's important to listen to them and to respect their opinion and to take it seriously and to understand that there are always going to be things that you don't yet know about yourself, that your parents in some ways do know about you because they knew you when you were one and you didn't know yourself then, if that makes any sense. You know, like, oh, score! Score! Oh my God. Oh my God. Nope, it's Solanke. I thought for a second it might have been Will Grigg, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was Solanke, who's had a great season, to be fair. It's unfortunate that he's on loan because I feel like he fits in with the Wimbly Wombly model really well. And, I mean, that's a good finish. And it was, yeah, I mean, that's a really good finish. And we're up 3-0. Things are looking really good against the second-place team. This is the kind of performance I was looking for after a massive financial investment that I made into this club. I was looking for Premier League football, and we are definitely one giant step closer to that now. So, I mean, it's hard not to start to feel excited. I mean, we're definitely on pace for the playoffs, but I think with the new players that we're going to be able to purchase, with Raffo and Hodor holding it down in goal, with our fairly strong central defense, with Solanke for the rest of the season, with the John Greens, I mean, you've got to think that we've got a chance. And Will Grigg has been dispossessed in hideous circumstances. I've been very hard on him, but he also hasn't been very good. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would say nothing is going to be hurt by you applying. Listen to your parents, even if you don't agree with them. Listen to them respectfully. I think that's a huge part of life. I mean, there are a lot of cases in my life when I disagreed with my parents and they were right in the end. But the process of disagreeing with them was very productive for me. Like, I learned a lot about myself. And there were also a few times, for the record, when I think they were wrong. It's got to go to Will Grigg. It's got to go to Will Grigg. You got to finish that. Oh, it's the best possible ending to the game. It is the most wonderful ending to the game. Will Grigg is on fire. Your defense is terrified. Will Grigg is on fire. Yes, he did it. He did it. He scored a goal. Admittedly, it was a tap-in. Solanke did all of the work. But, I mean, it's a nice run from Will Grigg and then a solid finish. You know, it was a tight angle. It wasn't a guaranteed goal. It was a solid finish. It's 4-0 to the good guys. Huddersfield in complete collapse. And actually, it was Will Grigg's second goal. He scored in a game where I simmed the game, so I didn't see the goal. But I'm proud of him nonetheless. And, I mean, is he part of our future? Maybe he's going to grow into the game. Maybe Will Grigg is only now getting good and is about to light the world on fire. I don't know. Probably not. But, you know, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul. Anyway, I wish you luck, Suburban Sun. And I'd be interested to know how it goes. Like, I'd love to check in with you in 10 years and see how the arc of your life looks and how you feel about it. Try to take the long view. Listen to your parents. Respect them. But also, sometimes you got to disagree with them. And do what you think is best. All right. Thanks for watching. Best wishes.